This is why I train in martial arts.
That's what some gun owners are doing. They're taking classes to tell you how to handle the police. That same type of training could also be applied to you if you have to use your martial arts skills to defend someone. So if you can, I think you should take a class like that. Let's take a look.
I was just working. We're doing a big instructor development thing this weekend, and I was just looking at some of the slides and the handouts. And I've been through Moss's training. I've been through the advice that Marty and Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network gives out. We produced the interacting with law enforcement officer immediate aftermath and interacting while armed information. We teach it in our fundamentals concealed carry class. I've heard Andrew's presentation on it to our instructors at the conference last year. It all comes back to the combination of what they said. You have to train this. You have to practice it. You go through the role playing. You put yourself in the scenarios. You do the walkthroughs. You have somebody else pretend to be the responding officer. You watch the videos. You visualize it. You think about what you would say. So it's common practice, right? Sitting at the stop sign. Imagine what would happen if a carjacker rushed you from around the dark alleyway. Well, you also should probably be visualizing the immediate aftermath. How you're going to surrender to the police when they show up. And then you should be envisioning the conversation that's going to happen. And personally, my advice is you have to establish that you were the victim. You try to establish what the evidence of that is, if there's any injuries or damage. You try to point out any witnesses. And it's those very few things. And the minute you're placed under arrest, the minute the handcuffs are put on and you're being advised of your rights and you're being told that you're being charged with a crime, yes, stop talking. Because your first job when a police show up is don't get shot. Your second job is don't get arrested. If you made it through, don't get shot, and now you're being arrested, just stop talking and call the USCCA hotline or the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network or whoever you're signed up with.
Personally, what I do, I try to say as little as possible, I have yet to be arrested. I try to say as little as possible. I try to move as little as possible. And you know where I got that from? I got that from being in the Marine Corps. You're standing up and the drill instructor's barking at you. The yes sir, no sir, yes sir. And you just do what they tell you to do. They call it part of POW training. Because I asked them after, boot camp, what was the purpose of that? They said that's prisoner of war training. So I'm not trying to be antagonistic with the cops, but I can't help it if the prisoner of war training has kept me from being arrested. Whose fault is that?
I had some thoughts there, Rob.
Of course.
From a lawyer's perspective, absolutely. First job, don't get shot. Don't get shot by the police, for God's sakes. The second issue, don't get arrested. From a lawyer's perspective, I don't give if you're arrested. Can I curse on this show?
Yeah, sure.
Too late.
I don't if you're arrested. That is the least of my concerns. In fact, I don't get your phone call unless you've been arrested.
Speaking
so everyone,
as an African American, I care if you get arrested. Please don't get arrested. If you can help it, please don't get arrested.
Interesting contradiction to my interests.
Everyone I deal with has been arrested. I mean, that's how they called me in the first place. It's what I worry about is clients inadvertently saying things that can be, whether it's intentional or not, used against their interests. And if we're all Masa Ayub or Marty Hayes or Rob Pincus or Andrew Branca or people who've thought about this stuff for decades, then we have a pretty solid sense of what we should say or not say. But for our students are not us. Our students are a tenth of us. I mean, they're coming to us to try to get to be a tenth of us. And for those guys to be talking to the police is extremely hazardous.
I don't know. If I'm teaching them to use the gun, I want
to tell my students, don't say anything if you can help it. You say as little as possible. You answer questions yes, no. You make factual statements. That's it. Don't run your mouth when you're dealing with the cops. Don't run your mouth. Say as little as possible. Move as little as possible. And hopefully you will have as little as possible contact with the legal system. If you want to learn how to do that, you know what to do.
Come and take a class for less than a tank of gas. Call 301-894-6616. You want to find out more? Go to cecilryu.org, cecilryu.org. Peace.